Hi everyone, it's Tasleem here, and this video is called Dancing into Alignment. I'm really excited to share this video with you because I feel like it's like the culmination of everything that I've been sharing with you for the past few months, especially all the videos and blog entries that I've been sharing on Dance Me Free about the chakras and how they are connected in our bodies, and how when we are out of balance in one chakra or a few chakras, how it can influence the other chakras. And that these energy centers are not just physical, they're not just inside us governing our physical bodies, but they govern our organs, which govern our emotions, which govern the way that we show up in our lives, and governs whether we trust in people or trust in divinity, or feel safe to speak our truth, or feel safe to open our hearts to love or receiving love. And I think learning all of this through dance has been amazing to me, because I didn't know anything about the chakras when I was first learning to dance. And I was experiencing these lessons without being able to name, like I can see how this dance opened up my heart chakra, or I can see how, tango really connected me to my solar plexus. I didn't know any of that, but I was experiencing the feelings and those openings when I was dancing. So later, when I learned about the chakras, I could really connect it. I could feel, I knew what it felt like to open up those energy centers. And the fact that they were named for me much later never really, it never made me feel like, I'm just reading into it. I was like, no, I know now what that feels like, and I know that was, this dance opening up my throat chakra, or this dance connecting me to my root chakra and making me feel more safe and more grounded. And so what I wanted to remind you was that Dance Me Free is dedicated to the power of dance to heal. And what exactly does healing mean? Like, what does being in good health actually mean? We all have our different views of what that we want that to look like in our lives. But as a generality, healing and health, being in wellness and health, means to be whole, to be in wholeness, to not be separated, to not be disconnected, to not be experiencing dis-ease. Our bodies want to be at ease, want to be in flow, want to be able to move without being obstructed by things like fear, or other people's opinions, or our distrust of something greater than us, like the divine leading us, or our fear or pain over people hurting, feeling like our hearts were broken. So those experiences that are really hurtful don't just hurt us emotionally, but they also can have repercussions in our physical body and in our sense of spirituality. And they actually can disconnect us and have us show up so that we're not whole. Yes, we're whole. We're always whole in terms of showing up as a whole person, right? Physically. But we are, those parts of us that should be together can often be disconnected. And I think the chakras are a really great way to just remind us of the pathway, like the center of us, I should say, not the pathways, but the center of us, because those chakras that I talked about, the 7 that I spoke about, line up in our middle of our body, like inside us, but in the middle, right? From the pelvis area to up to our head. We talked about the crown chakra, and there's actually more. there's way more than 7 chakras, first of all, but there are new age modern chakras on top of that that go above, for example, the crown chakra. Like there's stellar gateway that goes way beyond. I didn't mention all that because I think it's really good to just get a sense of these 7 first, and to just see that they actually work together. So if one chakra is disconnected, it influences the other chakras. If one chakra, those energy centers, remember I said that they were spinning, they're dancing, they're meant to dance themselves. They're spinning inside us. But if they're not moving at the speed that they're supposed to be, or they're stuck in their energy, then we are also stuck inside us, and we're not actually moving physically the way that we should, but we're also not moving through our lives emotionally and interacting with other people the way that we could and that we are meant to come in here as. So I mean, into this world, we're not showing up the way that we are meant to in this world. So I feel like when you become aware of your chakras and you start working on balancing them, and dance is one of the best ways, I can definitely attest to that, to rebalancing your chakras. And that's why I brought up all those different videos to explain how these different dances, for me, rebalance different chakras. When you start becoming aware of that and working on it, you start coming into that wholeness, to the point where you now can show up in life where things feel easier. I hesitated there because I wanted to say easy. Sometimes it really does get to the point where it feels easy. I'm not saying life is always easy, but whatever gets thrown at you, when you are in balance in your chakras, your whole body, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, is so in alignment that you don't get thrown by it. Yes, things can still hurt. You still experience pain. You still experience heartache. But you bounce back from it easier. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't feel those things anymore. Actually, most of the time you feel it even more. But you see the beauty in what you're going through. You learn the lessons from what you're experiencing. You also get those moments and experiences of synchronicity where, like, you put out some thought to the universe and then that comes back to you. And people get shocked by this, but sometimes these synchronicities can be instantaneous. Sometimes they can take a few hours, sometimes they can take a few years, but synchronicities are incredible because people think that, oh, those things just happen to other people. Some people think it's just coincidence, like when when you're thinking about someone and you haven't spoken to them for a long time and then they call you, or you are asking something of the universe and it seems like an impossible thing to manifest, and it shows up. Maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's connecting with a romantic partner that I've heard stories of people that are in places where there's not even enough people there to logically meet someone. And people sometimes will connect with someone really quickly, and it's not because they're just lucky. It's not just because, oh, they were just at the right place at the right time. I believe that it's because they are so aligned with what they want, that they show up in the world easily. Like, again, I'm going to put that in quotation marks because I know some people say it's not easy, but I think sometimes it can be. They show up in a way that they easily attract what it is that they want, because your energy is already flowing. It's flowing, it's in alignment, it's balanced. All the centers are, working together. It's not disconnected. There's not disease or a sense of going against the grain when you are in alignment, because all the different parts of you are now, showing up with confidence and trust, and trusting in the divine, trusting in your ability to receive and give love, feeling safe in your roots, feeling safe to show up and be able to speak your truth. That energy is undeniable. Like, even people that don't know you, they can feel it around you. And not even just people, but opportunities can feel it around you, and the opportunities just come to you. So the reason that I've been sharing all these videos with you about the chakras and about which emotions and which part of the body they're connected to, it wasn't just like a science lesson. It wasn't just like a lesson on the workings of the body, or like, a lot of people study chakras and stuff in yoga. It wasn't just about the body. It's how connecting to all of those parts of us actually connect the outer, the inner, the mind, body, spirit, and how that can actually help you show up in your life so that you show up fully in alignment. And it's contagious. It's like inspiring when you show up that way in your life. I'm not saying that things don't go wrong. Like, things can still happen. People can still get into accidents. People can still have losses, have, traumatic experiences. But the way that they react to those experiences, the way that they perceive what has happened, and the way that they continue with their life is usually very different from someone that's really disconnected and out of alignment. They show up different physically, they show up differently emotionally, and they definitely show up differently in terms of trusting that the universe is going to be there for them. That we don't have to do everything ourselves, that we are guided and we need to just go with the flow. So once you get into alignment, life flows more. And that flow can be felt within you, and it can also be felt exuding from you, and other people around you can feel it. And so I know this is a little bit of an abstract kind of concept, but I'm hoping that it has been helpful. I would love to hear your feedback. And like I always say, I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I love sharing what I learn and what I know and what I've experienced. But if any of you guys are more deeply in this line of work or have studied this in more depth, I would love to hear anything more that you have to say about it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon.